While we hated Jesus Christ. While we loved only ourselves. While we were dead in sin and we were dying away from God. At that time, God loved us. At that time, when we could not reach to Him, He reached to us. At that time, He reached across a barrier which we had caused. We sinned and fell short of God's glory. This was our fault. But He reached to us. Like it is as if we were hanging on a cliff. And He reached His strong arm down. He reached His strong arm down. He did not push us off the cliff. We wanted up ourselves. It is our fault, but nevertheless, He loved us and reached out to us. And we have peace with God, not because it is our great work that we have done, but only by what He has done for us. So this is an example for us to follow. When somebody else does us wrong, it is not our job to say, okay, I will not reach out to them unless they reach to me first. As Stephen followed Jesus' example. You see, the things that Jesus does are not just for us to read about and admire. If Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do, if Jesus says that, Stephen says it too. So, there comes a time when we need to follow our Master's example and reach out in love to other people. And the Bible orders this. Psalm 34:14 tells you that you must chase or pursue peace. This is not a suggestion, this is a command. We have to go after peace. As you know very well, it does not happen automatically. We have to pursue it. If things are left to themselves, they will degenerate and get worse. If we do not maintain this building, eventually it will crumble into dust. If you leave your tea alone and you do not drink it, the heat will dissipate and it will cool down. If you have an ice cube and you take it out of the freezer and you put it there, if you leave it alone, it will melt. In the natural world, if your clothing is going to wear out, your own body is going to die. Everything in the natural world deteriorates. And the same thing happens with human relations unless you do something about it. As Abraham and Lot got richer,
对吧？
Their herdsmen who they had employed began to fight with each other.
안 라는 콜투데 베베 주 안로인 수월 산다.
And Abraham stepped out of his way to ask Lot, look, let's be at peace. We are brothers.
저는 아브라함은 주 로던에나 에 우나바 렌이네 양 어디야?
Now, Abraham was the far elder person, and he did not have to do this.
아니 제전 아브라함가 로도 아이전 우바니 마세 우바다 우바마세 타가 어디가래 디토토니.
We do not do these things because we are compelled. We do them because we love.
뒤루이 건네 바는 뒤 건네는 간 망이나 바 속에 건디 신자거니.
The love of Christ constrains us. That is the only compulsion we have.
아니 예수그리스도 망이나 좀 마이야니 민도는 야 주주 사가이나 간도는.
Matthew 5:9.
마타야 부마장가다 주안.
Blessed are the peacemakers; they shall be called the children of God.
렘나 시험도 저네가 돌에 바티안바 보이는 놈 돈시야.
The words of Jesus, the Prince of Peace.
아니 예수그리스도 투주 렘나라니.
We are God's children if we make peace.
렘나 간시험 전 바티안바 보이는 돈이니.
Paul tells the Roman church,
올라 주안인 롬 포판데시라.
as far as it is possible, live peaceably with everyone. Some years ago, we were having a lot of trouble in Delhi. Brother Chunga came to teach in our Bible school his class on pneumatology. And he saw what was going on. And he saw that the students were, in a sense, caught in the middle of this. He saw that the students were, in a sense, caught in the middle of this. They were in the situation without much that they could do about it. And Brother Chunga preached a very wise message to the students on this subject. From this verse. As far as it is possible with you, as much power as you have, live peaceably with everyone. Romans 14, same epistle. Paul says, follow the things that make peace happen. Do the things that make peace happen. Do the things that build up each other. This is very important because this is the spirit of Jesus Christ. And the book of Hebrews tells us that we are to follow peace and holiness. And that if we do not do these things, we are not going to see God. Very strong message. If we do not follow peace and holiness, we are not going to see God. Now we come to these conferences because we love God and we love working together to spread the gospel. We love God and we also love each other. That's why we work together to spread the gospel. And I know that some of you have had a great difficult time in opposition from other people while you've been trying to do God's work. Some of you have maintained a very good attitude when it was not easy. Sometimes the opposition was from outside because of the war or because of because of outside pressure.
Then katero chumiron do te ito na bang tim tin tenani adio pen bon mina minon pura bang te ko yen ren dong na ron dia.
Sometimes the problem was financial. You struggled to support your family.
Chang pe chunin sumle pai in chumpura te ko har sa dai nia.
Sometimes the problem was, as has recently been the case, people who did not want to work with other people to spread the gospel. They wanted to selfishly go their own way. They wanted to say, if I cannot have what I want, then I will refuse to work with anybody else. And in the midst of these problems, some of you have been working hard, and if you have maintained a sweet, Christ-like spirit, I thank you. Because it is not easy. But Jesus gives us sometimes tremendous burdens. But at the same time, He gives us the ability to perform these jobs. And that is why we have the Holy Spirit, the power. The fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, gentleness, goodness, faithfulness, meekness, temperance. Now, for example, Brother Deacon and I may have different ideas about Bible school work. One time he wrote me a letter which I did not like at all. So I waited until I had a chance to talk to him. Now, I don't need to tell him what his letter says. He already knows what his letter says. I need to tell him how I feel in my heart. He cannot read my mind. And I need to find, so I told him, your letter makes me feel like this. And then he said, no, that is not what I mean. So he explained the meaning behind what he was trying to say in his letter. And we had a discussion and we came to understand each other. Now everything is fine.
Yes, everything is fine.
Now don't get angry and refuse to communicate with the person that you're upset with. I know there is a chance, eventually, maybe not at that moment, but eventually there is a chance for reconciliation. We must maintain a standard. We must also maintain peace. Remember, if you plant peace, you will reap righteousness. James 3:18 says, if you plant peace, you will reap righteousness. Things are getting better than they were a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, we had a conference here. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Very bad. And last year was better. And this year is better still. I with. That's not what I'm saying.
이 강 resolution 그래서 가렌티 조건에 매 아니 결론 매 맞아 추추가 수 있는 거죠.
But I still want to be part of the body, even if the body passes a resolution that I don't like.
해미 컨퍼런스 멤버 때 보니까 누가 말아 주
Jesus said, this generation is like children in the marketplace.
이수 그리스도는 해미 훈히 해돈 분비히 돈 제너레이션 돈 분비히 너방 바자르는 코사는 게네.
We played wedding and you wouldn't dance. We played funeral and you would not cry. Sometimes we adults act like children. If you will not play my game that I want to play, then I will take my toys and I will go home. Now we need to grow up sometimes with these attitudes. The Bible specifically says, please hear this if you hear nothing else I say tonight. Everyone is to consider not only themselves but other people. Now, some of you who have came from a big this is not only Mizoram, this happens everywhere. Okay? This is not only Mizoram, this happens everywhere. It happens in America. We must consider not only what our little party or our group wants, we must consider what is good for the whole group.
Right.
So, please, when you conduct your business, when you conduct your elections, when you do everything, please think in terms of what is good for the body, in your human body. Here's an example. If you have one cell, if this cell refuses to divide, the natural thing is that the cell will divide and redivide and grow, and the body will grow. But if one cell refuses to divide and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and if it starts to fight for itself against the structure of the body, that cell, that kind of disease we call cancer. And when the cancer is seen, we want to see it as soon as possible and cut it out of the body. Then we can save the body. Because that selfish attitude, that is what cancer is. It is these cells which refuse to work with the rest of the body, and they just multiply and grow for themselves. Like the natural body, the spiritual body in its normal, healthy state will be unselfish and work together. And just because you have a problem with somebody who they have been selfish and angry against you is no reason for you to adopt the same attitude from that point on with everybody else.
Jadi yang midang mani masyale emai. Denang mata na poa kalem lo tepo cu arman yang zera bedi kacunin adik dol ni.
Do not let that infect you.
Cuanin kami mani masyal kan dibiang cesus aja.
Example from the Bible.
Bible jengin.
Everybody, you know the story of Haman.
Haman janjin kan kecil bangga.
Haman is being named prime minister by the king.
Haman itu prime minister ania.
Brother Eliknezova was a headmaster, so he will be the king.
Berapa ni? Coba headmaster ni lala lo dia na.
Okay, there. This is his crown. Okay. This is King Elik.
Itu lala lo pui tak Elik lagi.
Now, he is the king.
Ani lala dia.
And since Haman is the bad part, I will play Haman.
Ani Haman akan isia so Haman akan berkata
Okay. Now, Haman, the king says to Haman, "You are a nice guy. I like you. I will make you my prime minister." So Haman is very happy. And Haman decides that he is going to go out in the street. The king gives his ring to Haman for him to make a seal. You must be a little bit indulgent with me. I'm not accustomed to wearing rings. Now, you'll see. So I'm Haman. And when I go out, everybody is supposed to bow. So when I go out, everybody, because you are sitting, we will pretend you are bowing. But one man refused to bow. And that is Mordecai. Now Haman, he has become prime minister. Now this king is not a fool. He is a very large kingdom. And Ahasuerus was one of the greatest kings of the Persian Empire. His empire went all the way into northern Greece. And all the way up to the Indus River. No, this king is an intelligent king. And when he appointed Haman, that means Haman has some ability. Haman was also a very wealthy man. And he was very happy that everybody was bowing. Mordecai did not bow. You are not supposed to bow. But he kept quiet. And he went back to his family. And he told his family, "Oh, I'm very wealthy. And I've been blessed by the king. The king has given me his seal.